Hey guys, it's Mark from Modern Tech, and I want to make this video to kind of show people the difference in quality build of what you get when you buy a cheap PDP or Power A game control pad compared to what of original Xbox One control pad, because there is a lot of people buying them not realizing that they are actually third party, because on the box, as you can see, it says Xbox on it. As soon as people see that Xbox logo, they instantly think it's an official Xbox product. Yes, it is an official Xbox product, but it's an official licensed Xbox product. Just because something's licensed by Xbox does not mean that it is made by Microsoft. The company is completely different and the build quality is different. I'm not trying to make this video as a make sure you buy this one or don't buy this one. This video is just kind of so you can actually see the difference in build quality, because the PDP and third party control pads are usually around the £20 mark, where the official control pads are usually around the £40, maybe £50 mark, depending on which type you go for. Some people obviously like to take the quality to the next level and get something like a Scuff or a RAZER control pad, which is obviously at a very higher price point. I want to start off talking about this control pad. This is a PDP FaceOff control pad, and this was the first PDP control pad I had, and I honestly loved it. The feel of it is so soft and it is nice rubber texture the whole way through. I've used this very heavily and it was a good control pad, but now it's not so great because it broke. Now with this FaceOff control pad, the game I was playing at the time was Assassin's Creed Origins. I was playing that quite a lot, and on that game I had to hold the right trigger quite often because that was the heavy attack, and I had like a little tactic where I'd go round on the horse, I'd hold the heavy attack and I'd swipe any enemy off, and it worked great. And because of that, the right trigger completely snapped off and it just wouldn't work. It was physically there, you could see it, but the internal mechanism completely snapped off. Now, one thing which is really annoying about these control pads is they are third party, so yes, they do not use any of the official components. If you wanted any replacement parts for this, it is really annoying to get them. So what I ended up having to do, I bought a job lot of control pads on eBay for, I believe it was a total of £15, and I got 6 control pads. One of them control pads is here. We will have a little chat about that later, but it does look quite cool with its nice camouflage aspect to it. And all 6 of those control pads were faulty and broken to some degree. I knew that from the start, but I bought it just for the replacement parts, and if I could fix any other ones in the process, that was a win. Spoiler alert, out of the 6 I managed to fix 1. Okay, technically it was kind of 2 if you involve this FaceOff control pad, which I already had, and the reason I bought the parts in the first place, but it's still not right, and we'll get into that now. All the PDP control pads that I did buy were completely the same brand and all a very similar model, but the models were actually different. Pretty much every one of them looked different internally. Firstly, I obviously tried looking all over the internet, eBay, AliExpress, for any replacement parts for the FaceOff control pad, but there just wasn't any to be found. So out of all the broken controllers I bought, I had to kind of work with what I had. So I replaced some of the internals on that. Now this FaceOff control pad is a little bit of a higher build quality than the other ones. This must be kind of like their premium range. There was a thick piece of plastic which had completely snapped off in the right trigger. Well, I can say it's a higher build quality, but at the same time it ended up snapping off, so was it really a higher build quality? That's kind of debatable, but there was a thicker plastic mechanism which was holding the trigger into place, and on the other ones it was a lot thinner, so I had to replace the thick one with one of the broken thin ones. And it kind of worked. It did work, but it just wasn't as strong. So now when I press the left trigger on this control pad, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there is a bit more resistance, whereas when I press the right trigger, it is super easy to do. You probably can't tell at all, but that is a problem there, and it's quite annoying. Unfortunately, I wish that was the only thing that was wrong with it, because now when I plug this into the computer, all of the buttons respond quite well. The analogues on these control pads, spoiler alert, they are all not great. They are all kind of are very loose and will move very easily. As you can see, when you're pressing some of the other buttons harder, the analog sticks do move slightly. It doesn't really affect most games, but some very, very sensitive analog stick button games, it will be quite annoying, such as Skater XL, which is what I was playing it with, and it got quite annoying. I kept missing the tricks because the analogues just wasn't working quite right. Upon fixing the trigger on this control pad, about 3 to 4 weeks later, the A button stopped responding. Okay, it responds, it does work, but you have to press it down quite hard, and any proper gamer knows that that is too inconvenient to do. You cannot play a game like that. It gets really frustrating and it is really annoying. So this control pad is now useless to me, and I cannot fix the A button. I've tried to clean it, but I can't do anything about it. It's already in good condition and it's just now gone. Now, as for this PDP Camouflage control pad, this doesn't have any specific model on it, it just says PDP, which I think these are the most standard ones you can get, probably the cheapest ones. I have to give it to it, so far this works fine and there has been no problems. The analog stick issue is very similar to the other one. If anything, there is a little bit more wiggle room on this one and it is still quite annoying, but it is very usable and it does work quite fine. So I've got no complaints against it really. I just know that it will break at some point because they're not amazing. It's not amazing, but it is so ideal to be used as like a player 2 control pad, if anybody actually plays 2-player these days and not online. As for this pink Power A control pad, I bought this one brand new at Christmas time for my wife and she loved it, and it does work quite well. But personally, I think there is some problems with it because it drives me bonkers. One of the worst parts about this control pad is the fact that the cable slot, it's a micro USB, but the cable slot is a funny square shape, and all of the other ones are all the same. So they all have a specific wire that has to fit them. These ones are a little bit wider, which does make it a little bit better because it can fit any cable, but this one has to have the right size cable. It's quite annoying. I ended up actually getting a random cable and I had to get a Stanley knife and chop some of the wire off just to make it work because I only had one of these cables and at that time I couldn't find it. So if you lose the cable that comes with it, you're kind of out of luck. You have to try and buy one which is very specific, or you have to cut up a regular cable, which is very, very annoying. So this control pad was bought brand new for £25. I think I paid the extra £5 because I wanted to get another nice pink one, and it does look good. The aesthetics are quite nice, and the back of it does have a very little, it's all plastic, but it has a little grippy feel to it, so that does feel quite nice in your hands. However, this has had very light use and it's already showing signs of wear and tear. The only games that I've really been playing on it, my kids have been playing on Minecraft and my wife has been playing on Fall Guys a little bit, but other than that, there's not really been much gaming on it and it's been very lightly used. But what I have noticed from when I was using it, every now and again, the analog kind of does drift in a certain way, and it's very minor and it's hard to show up on any of the software, but it does happen, and it happens every now and again. It just kind of sticks into a certain position. It's very, very, very small, but when you're on a game and you start randomly spinning around, it's pretty annoying, and it's not what you want for a brand new control pad. It's been very, very lightly used. Another little downside about the control pad is that the analog does make a really weird squeaking noise. I don't know if you can hear it on the mic. I will try and be quiet and see if it can pick it up now. I don't know if you can hear that. It's like a little bird chirping. But yeah, that's quite annoying. It's like it needs some WD-40 or something, but I'm not going to put anything on the control pad. It's a bloody control pad. But yeah, I know I've kind of got a lot of negative things to say about these, because £25, £30, some of them, you kind of have to weigh up the pros and cons of if it's worth buying like an official Xbox One Series S control pad or a higher end RAZER V2 control pad, which I would highly recommend, by the way. I've got a video, I'll leave it into the description for this. This is a great control pad. If you see it on sale, pick it up. But ultimately, what I'm going to say, what's my conclusion from this video is, if you do play games a lot and you intend to put a lot of heavy use into this, I would advise of spending a little bit more money on an official control pad. You could just get one of these if you wanted one which is going to last you maybe a year, maybe 2 years, but the longevity of these, it does not hold up if you play them very regularly. If you want to use this as a spare control pad or a player 2 control pad, or just if you are a very casual gamer, I know a lot of people use their Xboxes as a home entertainment system, or their PCs if they just want to navigate through a few easy games, then yeah, these control pads are great for that and they will not let you down. But if you are a hardcore gamer and you're playing something, I don't know, let's say Call of Duty, where it's a fast-paced FPS game and you need the quickest response times and stuff, this will mess up because you're going to be pressing the buttons fast, you're going to be moving around quick, the control pad will break and it will damage. If anybody else has got any better experiences, please let me know in the comments, because I've got 3 control pads which I've used personally and they've all kind of broken to some degree. Okay, granted this Camouflage one has not broke, but I did have another one which was the same as this. It was blue, a blue Camouflage one, and that one broke. I completely forgot all about that, but the RB button broke, and then when I replaced it, it still just didn't work. I don't know what happened there. It was like every time I'd aim on Call of Duty, it'd throw a grenade as well, and it was just really frustrating. It was just so annoying to fix, and when I tried to fix it, it just didn't work, so I just ended up throwing that one away. There's no doubt a lot of these look great and they've got a lot of cool designs, but it's up to you what you prefer. If you have any different opinions on this, let me know in the comments below. But don't hate me, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just kind of giving my personal opinions on what has happened when I've used these devices and my experiences using them. So I hope it helps other people in the future when it comes to potentially purchasing themselves a new control pad. Just, is it worth it for you to invest a little bit higher for a better build quality? That's completely dependent on you. Now, if you made it to the end, first off, I want to say well done to you and thank you for sticking around. If you like this video, please consider a like and a subscribe to my channel. This is Mark from YouTube channel Modern Tech, and I am really trying to get monetized this year, and I am unbelievably close. I can't even express it, and I'm so happy about that. And I want to thank everybody who has supported me so far in this journey. It has been wonderful, and I want to keep making content for you guys, and thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be in the room. I'm happy to be recording videos. Thank you guys. See you later.